program on a few items, so we'll learn about those later. Welcome, everybody. I'd like to call the meeting to get to order at 7 p.m. For the audience here tonight, my name is David Friedendahl. I am tonight. Please silence your phones and any other electronic devices and refrain from speaking unless recognized. If you are in the audience and wish to speak during the public comment period, speaker cards look like this, are located in the lobby area or on the podium. Please fill one out and submit it to our recording admin before the close of the public comment period. Again, this is a public meeting for the community of Glendora. We appreciate and respect your participation this evening. For the record, all the members of the council are present and seated and ready to do business. To begin our program, we would like to offer an invocation and pledge of allegiance. Tonight's invocation will be offered by Pastor Dr. Michael Kordich of the First Baptist Presbyterian Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance led by high school senior Eric Tomas, a graduating senior from the International Polytechnic High School in Pomona. Pastor Kordich, you're on. And if you all can rise, please.
My Baptist friends might be a little upset that you called me a Presbyterian, so it's okay, brother. It's all right. We still love you. We still love you. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. Father God, we are so grateful that we can gather together at this time. Lord, as we're coming out of Mother's Day and honoring our mothers, and we also want to just feel the joy of seeing so many young children here today, particularly to be honored, Lord. That is just a wonderful joy in my own heart as I see them here. Lord, as we do consider our prayers to you and our thoughts to you in this time, we also want to be mindful of our police department who's giving their report today, that we're so thankful for their service to our community, how they protect and serve us and put their lives on the line in many ways, Lord, that help us each and every day that we don't even see. So we ask, Lord, for a special blessing upon them at this time. Lord, I want to ask for a blessing upon our council members who serve this community well. We ask, Lord, that you would give them the wisdom and understanding they need to make decisions for our community, for the good of our community, that you would give them the wisdom they need in righteousness and holiness and honor to you, O Lord. We do ask these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Hello, good evening, everyone. We're already standing, but if we could please, you want? Ready, begin. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Thank you, Eric, and thank you, Pastor Kordich, very much. We next come to an opportunity to reorder or add anything to the agenda. Is there anyone wishing to do either of those items?
Yes, Mayor. I would like to reorder and put special items 2 and 3 coming up directly next.
Okay. Is that a motion? Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any objection? All right. We will do just that then and move up to our first item will be to recognize as a special item our 2025 Water Awareness Poster Contest winners recognitions, and presenting tonight is Management Aide Armando De Jesus to present and make the recognitions. And you're on, sir.
All right, good evening, everyone. My name is Armando De Jesus, the Management Aide for the Public Works Water Division. I'm proud to oversee our water conservation programs, and tonight I have a pleasure of highlighting, my personal opinion, my most favorite program that the city offers, the Water Awareness Poster Contest. Now in its 12th year, The contest gives out youth a creative platform to express the value of water conservation through their own eyes. It's a chance for us to see how the next generation understands and advocates as essential as something as water. This year, we're excited to receive poster submissions from 10 different classes, ranging from kindergarten through 8th grade. While we didn't receive any entries for our high school students this time around, we're optimistic that they'll join us for the fun part next year. We opened up the voting to all city employees, and from 150 entries, the top 12 posters rose to the top, and these are the posters that we're celebrating tonight. As I call your name, if you could please come up and actually start lining up here, one by one. At the end of the ceremony, we're all going to take a picture with our council members. If you would give us a pleasure taking that picture with everyone. All righty. And feel free to take as many pictures as you like. All right, we're going to start with our kindergarten through 2nd grade category. First winner, Andrea Chang from Cullen Elementary. Congratulations. Keep in mind, your award is back here, so don't lose it, okay? All right, congratulations. You stand right here. Thank you so much. All right, next up, our 2nd place winner, Lucy Cozen from Cullen Elementary, and I do apologize if I mess up anyone's name. All right. Next, our 3rd place winner, Rinash Vudhamari from Cullen Elementary. And it looks like he's not here, so we'll go ahead and deliver the poster at his school tomorrow. Our next category, 3rd through 4th grade. First place winner, Hannah Yu from Stanton Elementary. And this is the first year that Stanton Elementary has actually submitted any posters, and we already have a winner this year. 2nd place, Eloise Orzetti from Celis Elementary. Congratulations. 3rd place, Grace Leanne from Celis Elementary. Congratulations. It looks like Renaz is here. Thank you so much. Okay, so next one is our 5th graders. So we decided to give our 5th grade their own category only because we received such a large amount of posters from them. So here we go. First place winner, Elizabeth Applegate. Congratulations. 2nd place, Owen Herr. Actually did not receive a response from them for coming, but we'll go deliver them to school tomorrow morning. 3rd place, Henry Ojeda. Okay, in our last category, our 6th through 8th graders. Kathy Lee, 1st place from Goddard Middle School. Second place, Sabrina English. All right, last but not least, 3rd place, Julian Juarez. All right, if we could all, we're gonna go take a picture. So if you could start going behind there, we're gonna take a picture all together, okay? So all in the back.
Eric, now if you take a picture, if you want to come forward, you're more than welcome.
All right. So before we wrap up, I'm excited to share the winning posters will be submitted to the Metropolitan Water District Regional Contest. This will give our students another chance to shine, this time in a Southern California stage. Last year, we did have a kindergarten from Glendora that was picked out by thousands of posters, and the parents were extremely proud. We did a big award ceremony over at Metropolitan Water District, and we hope to see another winner from Glendora this year again. If any students are interested in participating but haven't yet turned in their waivers, please come and find me after the event outside, and we can go ahead and continue talking about that. But congratulations once again to all the winners tonight, and the artwork will be featured in this summer's Glendora Public Library's Summer Discovery Zone at the Bidwell Forum. The posters will be displayed every Thursday from June 12th through July 26th, so be sure to stop by and see the display. And finally, thank you to all the families, friends, and community members here tonight. Your presence shows how much you care about your students and about the shared commitment to water conservation. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Armando. Great program, and besides some water-wise people, we have some great artists. So
Yes,
that's-
they were. They were
that's
really
fun.
good this year.
Great job. Thank you. Wow, that is good. Next, we have another fun event. We get to recognize our youth library volunteers who happen to be also graduating seniors. So in addition to doing great academics and working through that process, they find time to add to their day to help someone else's lives by volunteering at our library. And I'd like to invite our Board of Trustee President from the libraries, Carrie Johnson, and Library Services Manager Cindy Romero to come up, make some comments about the great folks, and then we do have some certificates. So we'll invite you up and do the parent picture thing and embarrass you a little bit maybe, but that's all good.
Oh, excellent. I'm glad we're doing that. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, Council. We have today our Board of Trustees President, Carrie Johnson, and also we have our Board of Library Trustees Vice President, Tomoko Toland, our Library Director, Janet Stone, and our GPL Friends Foundation Executive Director, Maggie Lara. We're just going to bring everybody up here tonight.
That's
'cause
right. They're all going to be in the picture, so that's
it's so
good.
much fun to give the kids awards. So this evening we are recognizing 5 students who have volunteered at the library during their entire high school career and accumulated more than 50 hours of service to the community through the library. These 5 students did far more than 50 hours. As a group, they donated over 650 hours to the community through the library. This was in the form of helping with the Summer Discovery Challenge. Some of these students were actually around when it was still a summer reading challenge, and they saw us through the change to that. They've helped with homework buddies, they've helped with special events and programs, they've participated in the Youth Advisory Board, so all sorts of different sorts of service to the community through the library. And so I will turn it, see if anyone else has anything to, otherwise we'll turn it out.
We look forward to this event every year that we reward all of our wonderful high school volunteers that have committed so much of their lives to serving at the library. And I want to congratulate all of our awardees this evening. Thank you.
Thank you to the trustees and the library staff. And I think it's safe to say that when these young adults make the choice to volunteer, they're not doing it for a plaque. So that's really incredible. Really good. I will call up your names and ask you to come up. We'll stage here, and then we'll get everybody together and come up and do the fun photo.
Mr. Mayor, if I might,
Please.
real quick, in addition to the certificates that you're awarding tonight, you are also awarding a scholarship, thanks to the generosity of the Friends Foundation to each of these students.
Wow. It is clipped to your certificate, so be careful to not let it escape. The first one is a name that I've never met the gentleman, but I know the name is famous in town. I don't know when he has time to do any volunteering in addition to his academics and sports successes, but Mr. Colton Gray. Colton has 4 years of service to the library. Next up is also a 4-year contributor, Gabriel Munoz. Another 4-year contributor, Mr. Mario Munoz. Another 4-year, boy, these are 4-year lettermans here. That's great. Rachel Scott. Rachel? Tell you what, why don't you, the recipients lean forward a little bit, and we'll come in and fill in the gaps behind you. Separate for you. Thank you. There you go. How's that? Does that work? Wow, thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
What a wonderful way to begin a business meeting by doing some fun things and recognizing our citizens. So, only in Glendora. What a great treat. Yes. Next, we come to our public comment and correspondence section. I would like to open public comment and invite members of the public to address the legislative body. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes, speaking once on both on or off agenda items. If you are in attendance, please fill out a speaker card and submit it to our recording admin before the close of the public comment period. Once recognized, speakers should advance to the podium, state your name, the subject you wish to discuss, and to share your comments. With that, I would like to invite, the chief's up. Chief Randazzo, invite you to be first, please.
Thank you for the time, Mayor. My name is Mike Randazzo. I'm the police chief of Glendora. But tonight, I would like to talk as a friend of Officer Louis Pompey. Last council meeting, Kent Sommer came in, one of the organizers of the Glendora Memorial Day 5K, and talked about the race and encouraged our community to participate. It's a great race. It's a great cause. All the funds go to benefit our Glendora schools. And I wanted to talk a little bit about Louis. Louis was our only Glendora police officer who's been killed in the line of duty, and he was killed in the line of duty on June 9th, 1995. This year's the 30th anniversary of his death, and there are only a couple current employees at the police department who knew Louis. I knew Louis, I loved him, and back then we made the promise that we will never forget. Louis had a huge personality, and I only knew him for a year, but I loved watching him interact with our community. I worked the 1994 Christmas parade and stood on the corner of Barranca and Foothill with him. I was working the night he was murdered and remembered when dispatch called in all the Glendora police officers at the same time, something that never happens, especially mid-shift. And when we got to the back parking lot of the police department, somebody was at the back door and said, "Louis gone, he's been killed, and Azusa is covering the city." And we came in the station, and I, with a lot of other police officers, cried. for most of the night, and then we went home. I remember coming back to work. The next time I came back to work, and the front of the police station in the lobby was covered with flowers, cards, notes, all from people that loved Louis. I remember years and years after 1995, contacting people in the community, and everybody had a story about Louis. You'd pull somebody over to write them a ticket or to contact somebody, and they'd go out of their way to tell you that they met Louis, they knew him, and they loved him. In many cases, he had changed people's lives. Sometimes I would say, how? And they say, well, he arrested me. But he was a really nice guy, and from that point, I turned my life around, and everybody that he seemed to contact, no matter what the circumstances, seemed to love him. So many current members of the police department, a lot of retired folks that knew him, Louis' family and Louis' friends will be there at the Glendora Memorial Day 5K on May 26th at 8 a.m. on Monday, Memorial Day, and we'd love to see all of you there. And we all miss Louis, so thank you for the time, Mayor. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Chief. Next up, returning star, Mr. Eric Tomas. Welcome, Eric.
Good evening, council members. My name is Eric Tomas, and before I begin, I want to thank both Councilmember Elias and Mayor Fredendall for offering guidance and support with this project. I live here in Glendora, and I really appreciate the work you all do to keep our city running smoothly. Tonight, I want to share a simple idea that I believe could make a meaningful difference for a lot of residents: improving and expanding bus stop seating across our city. Over the past few months, I've been paying closer attention to the condition of our bus stops. Some have seating, but many either lack it altogether or have benches that are out in direct sunlight. For someone who's older or has mobility issues or is just carrying groceries, this could turn a short wait into a real burden. Even for students or workers just trying to get home, something as basic as a shaded bench could really improve their day. I'm not trying to say what we have now is bad. Far from it. What's already in place is very good and solid. With a few small additions, we could continue making our public spaces even more welcoming and accessible for everyone in Glendora. I've been gathering input from community members and collecting signatures from those who support this idea through my petition. What I've heard is that people would feel more encouraged to take the bus if the waiting areas were a little bit more inviting. This isn't just about comfort either. It's about encouraging greener transportation and making sure everyone, regardless of age or ability, feels supported by the public spaces they use. I also want to acknowledge that Glendora already has a variety of bus stop setups, some with sturdy concrete benches, others with metal seating, and a mix of stops that include shading and others that don't. The concrete benches especially are durable and have served our community well. Still, there is an opportunity to improve upon what's already working. By adding shade to more stops and exploring materials that are both sustainable and comfortable, and enhancing overall design, we can create even more inviting and accessible spaces without starting from scratch. Imagine a bench made from recycled materials, shaded by a simple awning or tree, maybe even including signage that reflects Glendora's charm. Small changes like that can leave a lasting impact and show our commitment to thoughtful, people-centered planning. Glendora already takes pride in its community spaces, and I see this as one more opportunity to lead with care and creativity. Thank you for your time and for everything you do to support Glendora. I hope this idea gives you something to consider as the city continues improving public spaces for everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Eric. Just as an introduction, we don't typically enter into debate and discussion during this public comment period, but the messages heard and staff involved that might make a difference on this is here, and they're hearing it as well. So thank you very much. Great. Next, I'd like to invite Mr. John Santisteban. Welcome, John.
Mr. Mayor, Council, I think it was very nice that they acknowledged the young kids for their tasks and their achievements. So I'd like to just say that right off the bat. But my concern is, I live right here, I'm a resident here in Glendora Avenue, straight up Glendora Avenue, above Sierra Madre. And there is a school called Ever Grow. And I don't know what the contingency is for the school to have a permit there, how long they can be there, but it's really affecting the neighbors. They're blocking driveways, they're moving trash cans to park their car there. They're parking in front of the water hydrant. So one of the neighbors had to call and have a painted red curb there, and they still park there. So my concern is, if there's a fire, what are they going to do? And another concern is they block our driveways because they want to drop their kids off, which I can understand that. But we've been there for like 28 years, and there was Academy there prior, years and years ago. So it's just a religious church, and there's two separate types of religions there, which is great. And they come on a Saturday at times, and they also come on a Sunday at times, which is great. But my concern is the school. The parents don't have any regard for us to get out of our driveways. They come like a parade, and you're trying to squeeze out. I remember my wife going through chemo. She had to get to the hospital for her appointment, and they were just blocking everything. They blocked part of my driveway, and there was just enough space. She goes, "How am I going to get out?" I said, "I'll get you out." So I drove the car out, and I parked in the middle of the street so nobody can come behind her, nobody can go in front, until I walked her out to her car to go. I said, "Put your seatbelt on, take your time, and just go." But this isn't just like an occurrence. It's happening all the time. And my neighbors and I'm the voice, so I said, "Okay, I'll go down and talk to the committee. Somebody has to say something. If we don't say anything, nothing's going to get done." So I'd like to know how long their permit is good for. I mean, if it's just for another year, I could live with that. But it was always just so nice and peaceful. And then now you come out, and it's just like chaos in the morning. They drop the kids off at 8:30 to 9. They pick them up at 12, and they pick them up again at 2. So all day long is just like, and then when Fridays come, it's a little more, it's quieter. And then Saturday and Sunday, they have their, the church has their religious services,
John.
which is great.
Thank you. I'm sorry that we're out of time.
Okay, I'm
However,
sorry.
You did nicely fill this out. We will, in fact, we have your email and phone number.
Okay.
And I see responsive staff looking to address, so that I think they may contact you. So don't run out the door, maybe meet in the lobby.
Okay.
And they'll be more than happy to help you.
Council, but not with me. I'd be happy to help you out.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Thank you very much. I've never done this before, so thanks.
Good job. All right, next we have Mr. Bob Moore. Mr. Moore.
Good evening, buenos noches. Mayor, I partially agree with you. Convicted felons do belong in the big house. Yes, but not in the White House. Be honest with yourselves. All of you in this room voted for this. He told you what he was going to do, and you said yes to it. That's a good thing. Now you need to own your decision and the cataclysmic impact it will have for Glendora. I came here in November, and I told you Trump would collapse the economy, and he has. We're now experiencing stagflation, and we're in contraction. It's already having impacts here in Glendora. Republicans are right now voting in Washington to eliminate Medicaid, public education funding, food assistance, and housing assistance. 91 million people will lose their health care. 51 million people will lose their food assistance. 26 million will lose their housing assistance. These actions will destabilize America. Defunding our public services to give this money to 813 billionaires, including the Nazi Elon Musk. Stealing our public funds. Foothill Hospital, gone. Glendora High School, gone. Our public schools, gone. Hundreds of teachers fired. Our Social Security office, gone. Our nursing homes, gone. Community health centers, gone. Meals on Wheels, gone. Already being defunded right now. Food bank funding, already being defunded right now, gone. Since 1973, $75 trillion has been taken from the bottom 90% and given to the top 1%. Just one person, the Nazi Elon Musk, has as much wealth as 53% of this entire country. The city manager informs us that we have traffic lights in Glendora that are 35 years old and in need of retrofitting. This is what happens when you divest in your community and create an oligarchy instead. Mayor, you had a council member make a misinformed comment. He said Measure Z allocates money from Measure A. That's not true. One's a county sales tax, the other is a city sales tax. They're mutually exclusive of each other. They're not binary. Measure A is transparent. The county sales tax is auditing itself and making course corrections because of its transparency. Measure Z is a slush fund with no oversight, no auditing. Please quit misinforming the public. You can do better than this. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias. Y otra vez, buenas noches, Gobierno, Ciudad de Glendora.
Thank you, Mr. Moore. All right. I will ask, have we received any other public comment requests in the room? No? Do we have any correspondence?
We do not, Mayor.
We do not. With that, I will close public comment and bring it back to the council for member statements and comments. And I'll start if you haven't figured it out, I always rotate and shuffle the deck, so it's not the same order. Nobody knows who's going to be first. Councilmember Davis, would you like to start?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just want to remind the public of a couple events coming up. I believe later in one of the proclamations this will be mentioned, but I'll mention it also. May 15th is Peace Officers Memorial Day. Here in Glendora, we will be gathering at 4:30 p.m. on the steps of the police department to remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice this last year, as well as remembering one of our own, Louis Pompey. So the public is invited to that at 4:30 p.m. on Thursday. And then also this Saturday, we have the opportunity to come together as a community to celebrate our diversity, to appreciate various cultures and ethnicities, and see that it is a great thing to be a community that is diverse. And so we have that opportunity at the Culture Fest. There will be food, there'll be entertainment, there'll be booths. So we invite everyone to come out and partake of that great event from 11 to 5 on Glendora Avenue. So look forward to seeing everyone there.
Thank you, Karen. Bendel?
I would echo what Karen just said and would endorse everybody to be a part of those things. I'd also like to wish our boys baseball team and girls softball team the best of luck on Thursday as they enter CIF, and hopefully they can win a couple of games, and hope that they do as good as they have been doing for most of the year. So best of luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Mendel. Shauna?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just wanted to take a minute to share a document that the city posted a few weeks ago. It's called the Glendora Station Area Vision Plan. And I wanted to share this because I feel like it kind of went under the radar. I know that this time of year is really busy for a lot of people, but this is a really important document, and it has a lot of really good information. It is some ideas around the development pertaining to our A-line station that's coming later this summer. It'll be opening, and it's just a lot of really good information. There's going to be hopefully quite a bit of development with commercial, with housing. We did, the city shared the information, and then the following week we did 2 virtual open houses. I attended them. I was a little underwhelmed with the attendance from the community. And so I figured, well, maybe people don't really know. So I want to share it. It kind of piggybacks onto the community survey that I think, Adam, last meeting you shared some information about that. And one of the questions in that community survey we just did was what would improve the quality of life in Glendora? And following only I'm not sure, was improved shopping and dining opportunities. And also making the list was the city helping to provide more affordable housing. And this document talks about that. Everybody talks about wanting to have more things to do in Glendora and I'm in real estate and, the topic of how expensive housing is, people talk about it all the time. So this addresses that, and I would just like to call on our community to take a look at the document. It's kind of long, but you can go to www.glendorastationplan.com and watch one of the 2 virtual open houses, and they walk through everything. I'd especially like to call on my friends in real estate in Glendora to take a look at it as well. This matters to our business. We're talking somewhere over 1,000 housing units, and so those are customers and people that need to buy homes or lease homes. So this is really important, and I hope people will take a look at it. And that's it for me.
Thank you, Shauna. It answers the question in my household. What's for dinner? I don't know. Okay, great. Michael?
So the A line's a new gold standard? I stole that from Frank Motek. Mendel will know. Bring your appetite tomorrow night for the Cuisines of the Foothill over at the Glendora Country Club from 5:30 to 8:30. It's a great event. It sponsors a lot of our restaurants here in town, so if you've never been to a restaurant, you can go and sample some of their food. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. I would like to recognize that last week was our annual State of the City Address program. It was at the Timothy Crowther Teen Center. Is that right? Timothy Crowther? Yeah. Thank you. And it was an amazing event. I had a small piece of it that didn't make it amazing. What made it amazing was the panel discussion, the staff, the preparation, the team that put it together. It was incredible. If you were not able to join us, all's not lost. It is captured on video and was posted today to the city website. Get some popcorn and have a good view. It's great information, and it was a good program. Thank you all who put those things together. Coming up, we learned about the Memorial Day 5K. If you're a runner, a walker, please join that. It's at 8 o'clock on Monday, the 26th of May. At 9 o'clock is an annual observance program at the Oakdale Memorial Park. And at 11:30 is a remembrance program at the Fairmount Memorial Cemetery. So a great day if you're in town on Memorial Day. Walk out the door and go take in some of the great activities. Excellent. With that, I don't have any more things to share. I would bring it over to our... Yeah, okay, and thank you, Michael. And we will tonight be closing in memory of the Police Officers Awareness Week and the Memorial Week, so we'll do that. Staff, no comments? Danny?
No, nothing from me, Mayor. But I do agree that the State of the City was very well done.
Thank you very much. Okay, this brings us to some other fun items and recognitions again. We get to proclaim a couple of items, so I would like to ask Mr. Thompson to recognize our Police Officers Memorial Week coming up and present that proclamation.
Mayor, thank you. I really appreciate the chance to do this. My father-in-law was a former chief, so I learned respect and authority quickly as I asked for his approval to marry his daughter. And believe me, that was no small feat. But I love that guy. And my brother-in-law was a former sheriff. I don't know why he picked the sheriff instead of a police, but I'll forgive him for doing that. And and he was a good man, and he still is a good man. So this is a special moment. We're going to celebrate, but it's a solemn thing too. I'll reflect on that. The chief has already talked a little bit about that. So here we go. Whereas every day from coast to coast, sheriffs, officers stand watch over each of us, putting self last and risking their lives to keep us safe, keep our homes safe, where we work safe, and cities safe against crime. Whereas these officers have chosen this as a calling and take oaths knowing that this job is full of risk and danger. They work to protect our cities and states and place themselves in harm's way for the safety of others. In other words, they run in while most of us run out. Whereas we will never forget Louis Pompey, who gave his life while protecting lives of others. We, as the chief has already said, will have a chance to celebrate his life and his passing of 30 years and his end of watch that happened on June 9th of 1995. We'll also be able to publicly do that on June 8th. And if you want to know when and where, I'm sure that City Hall would share that. Whereas, as up on the screen, Peace Officers Day is a special day and a special week that we honor those that have given their lives and recognize them for enforcing laws and bringing criminals to justice and making our cities safe place to live, work, and play. Now, we, the City Council, do hereby proclaim May 11th through the 17th as National Police Week. And we want to extend our very best to the women and men who make up our very own GPD and thank them for their courage, the service, the trust, the partnership that they give us and those that live, work here each and every day and night. We would ask that everyone join us in honoring them, honoring those that have served and have gone on, and those that are still here, and thank them each and every day for the faithful, loyal service which they have given us as part of their calling and a part of their job to make our city safe. We also, as Karen had said, proclaim May 15th as a day where we intentionally look back and say thank you to those women and men who have died serving us. We just want to say thank you to each one of them. There have been 147 of them this past year that have done that. And you can join us on May the 15th, which is Thursday, to do exactly that. So in witness thereof, the mayor has set his hand, and on this day, May the 13th, to express this. So thank you for hearing this. I hope that you feel a sense of thanks for each and every one of them, but I hope that you also feel a solemnness for the fact that we have lost some because they have been called to serve us. I'm honored to be giving this to Lieutenant Finner and Officer John Bruner. Men, thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. It's an honor to accept this proclamation on behalf of the Glendora Police Department. Thank you, Mayor and Council, for your continued support. We appreciate it.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Next item is another proclamation for another great staff and team that keeps us going every day. And to make this presentation, Mayor Pro Tem Alaros will introduce and present this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. This is a pleasure to read out this proclamation. It says National Public Works Week, but we're not necessarily in the nation. We're here in the city of Glendora, and our Public Works Department does amazing work. You see their work every day. You might not realize it, but also on our surveys, you talked about the roads, the conditions of, and they work constantly on trying to improve that. And also when you turn the tap on, there's water that's coming out. You don't realize that they're working on that to make sure that that happens. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are vitally important, sustainability and resilience communities, and to public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of Glendora. And whereas the infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of public works professionals who engage engineers, managers, employees at all levels of government and private sector, who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment, and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential to our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest for the citizens, civic leaders, and children in Glendora to gain knowledge and maintain an ongoing interest and understanding of the importance of public works and public work programs in the respective communities. And whereas the year 2025 marks the 65th Annual National Public Works Week sponsored by the American Public Works Association, be it now. Now, therefore, we, the City Council of the City of Glendora, do hereby proclaim May 18th through May 24th, 2025 as National Public Works Week, and urge all citizens to join with representatives of the American Public Works Association and government agencies in activities, events, and ceremonies designed to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees, and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and advancing quality of life for all. In witness thereof, the mayor has set his hand unto this and caused the seal of the city of Glendora to be affixed this 13th day of May 2025. And Laura Chanelli is supposed to be receiving this. Well, there you are. I didn't see you. I had the
Yes, they do. Command performance. Yes.
Thank you. As you mentioned, this is the 65th annual recognition of National Public Works Week, the first one having been initiated in 1960. The general perception of public works is people out on the street in hard hats with orange cones, but the reality of public works is so much more than that, as you said. From parks and trees, facilities and fleet, engineering, water, environmental services, and of course, streets, Public Works is there for it all. This year's theme for National Public Works Week is People, Purpose, Presence. Meeting the needs of the people is what gives Public Works purpose. Public Works staff is ever present, often behind the scenes, working to make Glendora a cleaner, safer, and better place to visit, to work, and to live. On behalf of our entire department, I'm honored to receive this proclamation. We thank you all for your support as we continue to work with purpose to be present for all the people of Glendora. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. And Laura, before you leave, I'm going to embarrass him, I think, but Paul?
Which Paul? We have two Pauls.
Wow, okay. Well, I was looking at Paul Zampiello.
He's our new assistant director
New
for
Assistant
water.
Public Works Director. Welcome, and thank you to the other Paul. You guys got him all
Thank you, Mr.
covered.
Mayor. I'm a pleasure to be a part of the team. I'm as a lifelong resident of the city. I'm excited to be working here on the water department. So excited to get to know all of you.
Welcome to the team, and we're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Short commute, huh?
Yeah, just up the street. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. Our next item is a quarterly update from our Glendora Police Department, and presenting tonight is Police Lieutenant Matthew Fenner. Matt, welcome.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and council members. Tonight, I'll be giving a brief overview of some of our recent efforts in responding to crime trends and discuss some new programs we're working on at the Glendora Police Department. This quarter, we've improved our focus on early intervention and communication through outreach, neighborhood watch, community meetings, and staying ahead of issues by thinking outside the box to keep the community safe. One big issue that keeps coming up are residential burglaries. For some context, in 2023, we saw our lowest number of burglaries in 7 years. But in 2024 and 2025, we're seeing an upward trend. This data has showed us that we need to refocus our prevention on re-engaging with the community and stepping up targeted patrols. One way we're dealing with these issues is through regional collaboration. This year, we joined a county-wide burglary task force. This team, which includes a Glendora detective, it's a county team, and year to date, we joined in January. They've already arrested 28 burglars, that's in-progress crimes, countywide, but 8 of those burglaries were suspects that were tied directly to Glendora burglaries. So we tracked them and caught them in LA County, but they were leads from Glendora burglaries. In March, we rejoined the Children's ICAC, it's Children's Crime Against Children's team, and we've already arrested one online predator that was targeting Glendora youth. So that's a team that was started by LAPD, and we've joined it, and they're allowing us to share their resources and their technology and train our detectives to track predators before they can victimize Glendora youth. We've also expanded our community impact team and our juvenile diversion program to help at-risk youth. This is an example of a case that we have recently solved. I do community presentations, and a lot of times the question gets asked, how do you catch them? Do you catch them? I don't hear anything. And the reason why sometimes we're not allowed to post things on the internet, there's certain laws and privacy concerns, so we can't post mugshots, we can't post our successes sometimes. But this is a sample case that we actually worked, and I think it's a good example of how things happen. So this is an infographic here, and it just shows we had a case where there was a crime reported. A resident was in their house, and they saw a car pull up in front of a residence, and somebody get out, jump the back wall, and start the burglary. They called 911. The dispatcher started dispatching Glendora units, and detectives started to respond in plain cars. The plate was captured on an LPR reader, a license plate reader. Responding officers, they got to the scene. The suspects had fled, but they had got a hold of a Ring camera video from a neighbor, saw the description of the vehicle, and were able to locate the license plate from the LPR reader. Our detectives then tracked that plate to Los Angeles by different hits of the LPR and gave that information to our regional burglary team, the task force. They tracked that vehicle to Los Angeles. They were able to follow it and catch them while they were burglarizing a different house. So that's kind of a rundown of how it happens. And we can't talk about specific cases, but this is a general idea of how the technology works. And all of these pieces are important, so it's a holistic approach to solve these cases. But the most important thing is the first person who reports the crime. So we're encouraging that. We're encouraging people to be attentive and to watch their neighborhoods and call and report crimes as they occur. We strengthen our prevention in neighborhoods with neighborhood watch groups and extra patrols. For example, we've conducted 124 extra patrols in Morgan Ranch in the Glendora Country Club area, 95 along Sierra Madre route, and 35 in the Hunters Trail area. Alongside enforcement, we've improved technology, educated residents on crime prevention through environmental design, CEPTED. That's just telling them, hey, we need you to help us out. We can't be everywhere. Harden your home, put up cameras. We give them advice. We go to meetings and tell them how to make their house less appealing of a target. That CEPTED concept can also be used in retail theft. There's one example here I want to talk about with Kohl's. Our patrol officers actually led this solution. They saw that there was a lot of theft coming out of Kohl's, so they proposed an idea. If you've been to Kohl's, you've probably seen some of the measures they've taken, but I talked to Natalie Dillon last week, and she gave us some data of their shrinkage and how well their store's been doing since this patrol-led initiative started. And just for some numbers here, the average store in this area, this district, has a 9% loss, which is $1.1 million. The Glendora Kohl's is down to 2.59% loss at $347,000. So this has saved $750,000 to Kohl's. And this is through partnerships, through aggressive prosecution, not just writing a ticket and clearing the call. We take people to jail, we try to hold them in custody, and we try to prevent the theft from happening at all by making Kohl's a less appealing target to hit. So although we've taken these proactive steps, I always tell the public that we don't work in a bubble. You are the key to our success. You know your neighborhood. If something feels off, call it in. You're not wasting our time. There's nothing worse than when we get to a call and we hear somebody say, I didn't call you, I saw what happened because I didn't want to waste your time. So you're not wasting our time. Call it in. No call too small. That's the Glendora motto. So please call us. We'd rather get to your house and see something, and it's nothing, than have you not call it in and miss a serious crime. Our statistics show that the faster a crime is reported, that the more likely we are to catch them in progress or trying to flee. So in closing, we're staying proactive, visible, connected with the community. Everything you heard tonight, from task forces to youth programs, was about keeping Glendora safe and strong. We want to thank you, Mr. Mayor and the City Council, for your support. We couldn't do this without the support of the council, and thank you. I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody may have.
Thank you, Lieutenant Fenner. Any questions, comments? Yeah, I would like to reemphasize your comment. If you see something, say something. As you say, no call too small, and it's a lot better to get there and maybe prevent an incident than to get there and have to write a report about, oh, something happened, I wish I'd said. And I don't know anybody who would object to the attention of a police officer if they're doing nothing wrong.
Exactly. And one other thing, we want to make sure we make it clear that by calling us, you're not going to put anybody at risk. We prioritize our calls. So we're not going to leave an emergency or break away from an emergency to handle a suspicious vehicle, but we could have an officer that had just finished report writing in the neighborhood that might be just extra patrolling that's in that area that would have caught that person had they called.
Great. Thank you.
Mayor.
Thank you for all you do, sir.
I was at a baseball game a couple weeks ago, and I had a baseball hat on and sunglasses on, so, they couldn't see my famous flat top. And two people were in back of me. They started talking about the Morgan Ranch area. And, man, it's just terrible up there, blah, blah, blah. And then the man said, well, but, the police have come out, and they've talked to us. They've met us. And my wife was poking me, and I go, I'm just going to sit here because I didn't want to get involved. The gist of what they were saying is they really appreciated the engagement that your team gave them. You listened, you gave them ideas, as you just said here. They felt like they were cared for, they felt like they were heard. And I just want to say thank you because the two of them, they started out kind of negative, but it ended in a positive way. And maybe you guys don't always hear that, but sitting at a simple baseball game really enlightened me. So thank you for the good work that you guys are doing. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mendel. Thank you, Mr. Fenner.
Thank you.
Oh,
Two questions for you. Thank you for your report. You mentioned 2018, the crime rate, and you said it was kind of trending up for this year, this cycle.
Yes.
Any idea how that's going to track to 2018?
Hopefully lower because we're working so hard on it. But, no one has a crystal ball. All we can do is what we're doing, which is holding these meetings, educating the public, continuing to be out there, letting them know to call, forming neighborhood watch groups, and improving technology.
And what's your response time?
Our response time right now, I thought you might ask.
I didn't give you the question ahead of time.
For priority 1 calls, our response time is 4 minutes.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
well, okay. Thanks very much. Next item will be a public hearing. I would like to open this public hearing, and it is to conduct a public meeting to receive testimony regarding the proposal to levy and collect assessments for the fiscal year of 2025-2026 for the Glendora Village Business Improvement District. And presenting this evening is Management Aide Chantel Correa. Welcome, Chantel.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and council members. First of all, I want to say Happy Mother's Day. Tonight is the first of 2 public meetings to levy and collect assessments for the Business Improvement District, or the BID. A brief reminder, City Council reviewed and approved the annual report on March 25th. Therefore, I will provide a quick overview to highlight the key outlines of the annual plan. The annual report starts with outlining the boundaries of the BID. The district spans from east to west Bennett, down to east to west Foothill, and then across shopping center directly across City Hall. Next is the assessment methodology, which determines the amount each business contributes. For fiscal year 25-26, the methodology will remain the same as last year. It's divided into 3 categories: primary, secondary, and exempt businesses. The BID's revenue is generated through a combination of business assessment and event-based income. As you can see, the primary source of the funding is the wine walk and the assessment. When combined with the revenues of the other events, the total projected income for 25-26 is $120,800. And this slide is just a snapshot of the bid's projected expenditures for fiscal year 25-26. The most noticeable change was this coming year is the increase of the marketing budget. The bid is enhancing their social media presence in efforts to attract more visitors and shoppers. While projected expenditures do exceed anticipated revenue by just under $35,000, it will be covered by using the bid's surplus funds. The bid's projected reserves at the end of fiscal year 26 is estimated at $107,766. And just a quick recap on a few key dates. On April 1st, staff mailed out the resolution and annual report to the affected businesses while giving them notices to both hearing dates. Public hearing notices were published in the San Gabriel Valley Examiners on April 10th, 17th, and 24th. Tonight is the first public hearing of the 2 scheduled public hearings, and the final public hearing will take place on May 27th. During that hearing, both the public and members of the bid will have an opportunity to provide testimony. Any protest votes will also be submitted and counted at that time. Following that, the City Council may choose to implement or decline the assessment based on the input received. So tonight's recommendations are to conduct the public meeting to receive testimonies regarding the proposed levy and collection of the assessments for fiscal year 25-26 for the Glendora Business Improvement District. Thank you, and I'll turn it over to City Council to open the public meeting.
Thank you, Chantel. At this time, I will open for public testimony and invite members of the public to speak. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes speaking on this item only. If you are in attendance, please fill out a speaker card and submit it to the recording admin before the close of the public testimony period. Once recognized, speakers should advance to the podium, state your name and the subject matter you wish to discuss. Do we have any speakers present wishing to talk on this item? Seeing none, I will ask if we have received any correspondence related to this item.
We have not, Mayor.
We have not. And as such, I will close the public testimony timeframe and bring it back for comments. Are there any comments from this body? Shauna would like to make one. Yes, please.
I don't have any questions, but I would like to encourage our friends at the bid to read the Glendora Station Area Vision Plan because this matters to them. That's it.
Great.
Please
I'll
read
let them know.
Anyone else?
Now I'm ready to make a motion, sir.
Okay. Do I entertain a motion, please? Karen?
Second?
Motion to approve and second by Mr. Thompson. Please vote. Motion carries 5-0 to move to our second hearing date on May 27th.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chantel. Now we can move to our consent calendar, items 8 through 15. Items on the consent calendar may be enacted by one motion without individual discussion unless a member wishes to have that item removed for comment. Does anyone wish to pull an item?
No, Mayor, I'd like to move items 8 through 15 on the consent.
Seeing none
Second.
to pull, we'll have a motion by Mr. Alawas and a second by Mr. Thompson. Please vote. Motion passes 5-0, moving items 8 through 15. Thank you very much. Under new business, we have a resolution to levy a resolution relating to the levy of fiscal year 2025-2026 assessments in the connection with Landscape Maintenance District Number 1. And presenting tonight is Assistant Public Works Director Valerie Velasquez-Santoya. Welcome, Valerie.
Thank you, Honorable Mayor, and good evening, Council. So tonight I'm presenting the annual update for the Landscape Maintenance District Number 1. The Landscape Maintenance District was formed in 1976 under the Landscape and Lighting Act of 1972. The act allows cities to levy annual assessments on properties that receive special benefits from public improvements such as street lighting or landscaping. The assessments are collected by the county through the property tax bill. There are 7 benefit zones in District 1 under Resolution 0320. 6 of those zones will allow an annual CPI-based increase up to 5%. For this year, the CPI adjustment from March 2024 through March 2025 is 3.02. So in order to submit the assessments to the county for placement on the property tax bills, there are several steps the city must follow, including approval of several resolutions. So tonight, the recommendation will be for City Council to approve the 3 required resolutions. The first, to initiate annual assessment proceedings for fiscal year 2025-2026, to approve a preliminary engineer's report, and to state the intention to levy assessments and set the public hearing for June 24th, 2025. And that preliminary engineer's report is going to outline improvements, calculate the maintenance costs, and determine each parcel's share based on the benefits that are received. So on this slide, we're going to see the 7 zones that are within the district. So you'll see in the column which zone they're in. The second column will go ahead and show the location description, as well as how large that area is and what the improvements are. So for the most part, a lot of them have ground cover, shrubs and trees. Some of them have medians included. And we also have in there the bougainvilleas, where we have 23 bougainvilleas that are maintained. The third column is going to be what the annual assessment currently is for each of those different zones. And then we have the proposed levy amount, which is the 3.02 increase that is permitted. And then the last column is going to go ahead and show that in a dollar perspective. So here on this slide, we go ahead and we're going to take a look. Again, we're going to see what is collected, what the actual costs are. So again, we have the zone, the location. EBU is going to be the equivalent benefit unit, and all of the units within the landscape district are single-family homes. So within each one, within each zone, that'll show you how many parcels and homes are in there. So for the maximum amount that can be collected for each one, for example, number 1 is $5,381. Then the next column is going to show what the actual estimated costs will be. And as you can see, for most of those, there is a shortage. And so we'll be using general funds and water operation funds to go ahead and subsidize that shortage. So the next steps are to go ahead and initiate, again, to adopt the 3 resolutions, to initiate the annual assessment proceedings, to approve the preliminary engineer's report, to state the intention to levy assessments and set the public hearing. And then we come back in June 24th for the public hearing, where council will go ahead and approve the final engineer's report and approve the levy and collection of assessments for fiscal year 25-26. So the recommendation tonight is for council to go ahead and approve these recommendations or resolutions as presented, so that we can continue maintenance of landscaping within the 7 established benefit zones. And with that, I'll return it to council for questions.
Thank you, Valerie. I'll bring it back to panel for discussion. And Shauna?
Thank you. Thank you, Valerie. I just have a couple questions. First, the report references the District 1. I was curious, are there other districts, or is it just this one?
It is just one, and we have the different zones within that. I'm not sure where the name came from, but we do only have one.
Okay. My next question for Zone 5, so that is the one that is exempt from the assessments. I was curious why.
That is correct. So when we establish these assessments, it has to be voter approved. And so they can approve joining the district, but they did not likely approve the increase. So you have to approve the increase by CPI, or in this case, it was actually limited to 5%.
Okay, good to know. And then the last one, the report indicates that Landscape Maintenance District 1 has been operating at a deficit for over 10 years, and so I was curious why.
Right. So again, this is under Prop 218. We are required to comply with that. And so Prop 218, we'd have to go out for a voter ballot, which is costly and probably more expensive than what the actual subsidy that we provide is. And there's also a risk to it because it may not pass. The voters have to go ahead and approve the increase. In addition, most of these are all in public right-of-ways. And so we will have to maintain these areas as well. So we're getting some funds to go ahead and enhance the maintenance districts and the zones. In addition, some of these are on slopes, and so we need to make sure that we are completing those improvements because not only is it an aesthetic, but there's also erosion control as well. So there's useful benefits to it.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mandel?
No, I'm good, and I'm ready to support this whenever you want to vote.
Karen?
I'm ready to second his motion.
Michael?
Well, we haven't heard from Mike.
Valerie, thank you for your report. I just have one question. Under the fiscal impact, you have subsidy, other funds. Where do those other funds come from?
Those are going to come from general fund and water operations funds.
Oh, from the water fund?
Water, yes. Water and general.
Okay. Out of curiosity, why would they be coming from the water fund?
Good question.
A portion of the benefits would be around water facilities or water used as part of the electricity in those areas, so just their benefit portion, yeah. The vast majority, though, comes from the general fund.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, I have no questions, and I believe we have a motion.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I would move that we approve the items 1, 2, and 3 that staff has recommended.
And I second that.
Second by Ms. Davis. Please vote. Looks like motion carries 5-0. And we are good. And for our next item, we continue to have the presence of Valerie, so please discuss the resolutions relating to the levy of a fiscal year 2025-26 for the assessment in connection with Streetlight Maintenance District Number 1.
Okay.
Presenting Valerie Vasquez.
Thank you. So moving to Streetlight Maintenance District. So again, similar, this was formed under the Landscape and Lighting Act of 1972. It includes 2,996 public streetlights. A majority of those are owned by Edison, and the city owns 252 of those streetlights. Private lights and traffic signals are not included. As approved by voters in 2006 and as permitted under Prop 218, assessments can increase annually by CPI without a new vote. And as mentioned earlier, the CPI increase is 3.02. So similarly, we are going to ask that council approve 3 required resolutions. Number 1, initiate the annual assessment proceedings. Number 2, approve the preliminary engineer's report. And 3, to state intentions to levy assessments and set public hearings for June 24th, 2025. So here we're going to go ahead and take a look at how the assessments are calculated based upon the assessment methodology. First, the properties are divided into 2 zones, Zone A and Zone B. So Zone A is going to include all standard parcels throughout the city, while Zone B includes those that are in gated communities, which are going to receive only perimeter lighting, nothing within that gated community. So there's consequentially a reduced benefit. So assessments are calculated based on the equivalent benefit unit, or EBUs, with rates varying by land use, benefits, and dwelling unit densities. The table here shows the assessment factor for the different types of land uses. The single-family home is the base unit, equaling 1 EBU, whereas multifamily units or undeveloped parcels are proportionately lower. And then we have Zone B, which is going to be 5% of Zone A. So the current maximum rate for Zone A is $49.14 per EBU. Go ahead and increase that by the 3.02 CPI factor, and the proposed assessment for the single-family resident will be $50.63 per unit per year. And then we'll go ahead and apply the factors on the previous page to the other land uses for the corresponding rates that are shown on this table. And then benefit B is just 5% of those in Zone A. Here we have the table that just takes a look at the total expenditures and revenues. So the expenditures are approximately $1.29 million. We have the direct costs of $1.159 million, indirect administrative costs at $13,000, and then there is operational reserve at $115,905 to get to that $1,288,657. And then this is funded through the revenues coming from the assessment itself at $550,000, some general fund at $67,348, and also utilizing the gas tax fund. So again, similarly, we are here tonight to ask council to consider the 3 resolutions, initiating the annual assessment proceedings for fiscal year 25-26, approve the preliminary engineer's report, state intentions to levy assessments, and set the public hearing for June 24th, 2025. Return on June 24th to approve the final engineer's report and approve the levy and collections of assessments for fiscal year 25-26. So again, the recommendation is to approve those resolutions as stated, and I'll return to council for questions.
Thank you, Valerie. I'll bring it back for any discussion. Mendel?
You know, I should probably know this, but why do we want to keep lights, or are we, I mean, we only own 252 lights. Can we offload those to SCE, or is there a reason that the city owns 252 lights?
I don't have the background
Or is it
on
just
that.
kind of the Glendora way that we've always?
No, we actually can't. Those are lights Edison does not want.
They don't want?
That's correct.
Okay.
So part of those are part of the old historic streetlight system, you know, in the downtown area. So the city does own some lights outright, and those are, and Edison's kind of changed its program historically on some of those non-standard streetlights, so
Yeah.
those are ours.
Because I was just thinking, you know, the cost for us to upkeep those or to outsource them, to have somebody upkeep, I mean, 252 lights, I mean, probably costs more to keep them than to, you know, just turn them off, but I don't know. So I felt impelled to ask the question, but I support this, but I just didn't know why we needed 252 lights, unless it was in front of my house and then I wanted it.
That's exactly correct, Councilmember.
But I know it's not, because I get my SCE bill
I think
every
I've heard this
every month.
discussion before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, I would move that we accept staff's points of 1, 2, 3 that they would recommend.
I'll second that.
Second by Mr. Allos. Any other question, comments? Okay, please vote. Looks like the resolutions pass 5-0. Thank you very much. With that, thank you, Valerie. This concludes our agenda items, and we'll bring it back for any closing comments. Do we have any? No? Okay, very well. Then I will adjourn the meeting at 8:26 and close in memory of the Police Officer Memorial Week and all officers who have given their lives in the performance of their duties while serving. With that, I will adjourn the meeting at 8:26. Good evening.